just the way I was meant to be. This is how it is, and this is wonderful. And not everything is being perfect, because perfection is just what is perfect, who is perfect. So, and the definition of beauty is changing so rapidly over the ages. In Japan, they would torture women. Small shoes, yeah, Chinese, not Japanese, Japanese also. Japanese is also, yeah,
Chinese, when they were still under the rule of others, they used to put a smaller shoe on their legs because leg doesn't grow and it remains small. As well as for men, it was longer hair. Hair used to go to the waist, but later on, it was not adapted enough, and they left the culture. But there are few people who still have the small feet.
With the rings around your neck to make your neck longer, and all of these ideas. I mean, I think it's just women have had to make themselves acceptable to the male idea, and somewhere other women have also pushed that idea forward. Ki ye sundar hai, ye sundar nahi hai. But today it's a time where you can wear wide leg jeans, you can wear low rise, you can wear boot cut, you can wear cropped joggers, whatever you like. I think also in terms of beauty, anybody who's confident, witty, intelligent, carries themselves well is just as attractive. So the attractiveness is not necessarily कि आपके पैर छोटे हैं, you know, or any of those things. So yeah, your stretch marks make you beautiful, unique.
Thank you.
Hi Tisca, I'm Harry Anand. I would like to know, in the entire book, have you even covered when a child attends puberty? There's a lot of hormonal change that he goes through, and a lot of back answering because I'm mother of two. So my elder one is 11-year-old, and I could often see all of a sudden he started rebelling or argumenting for me. Is there any advice that you would like to give to young mothers?
I would not dare. My daughter sitting in the front row, I would not dare to give advice. Of course, she understands because we've spoken about this, that there are hormonal changes that will happen, and also the other thing that I have always maintained, that any mother is a human being. Before she became your mother, she was a human being. So she has pain, she has anger, she has her own life. She's a shade of grey like any other human being. Like you, she's also a human being. So she's bound to be imperfect. So what we have done for years, Javed Saab spoke about this actually very beautifully, where he said that औरत को देवी बना के उसको उसका जीना हराम कर देते हैं. We make it impossible for women. That, she's supposed to be this great mother who is this mothering, fountain of love. It won't always happen. You won't always be this picture of sunshine and givingness, and you have your own requirements as a human being, your time with your friends, your time to watch something, do whatever you want. So this is a conversation that I've had with Tara, that Mama is also a human being, and if you have something you want to say, ask me. Say, Mama, I need your time, you have to talk to me now, or it's important, today I want to talk to you. So it might not happen at that moment unless it's an emergency, in which case it will obviously happen. But if it's not possible to do it then and there, then I will make time to understand, okay, what is it? Let's understand this. Let's figure this out. What was troubling you? So we spend time decoding that issue, which has become a flashpoint. We sort of pull it apart to see what was it at the end of the day. And sometimes it's just miscommunication or unfulfilled expectations. That I wanted this, but you didn't do this. So, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't, and this is what's going on with me. So, can be like, how can I best make up for this? Sort of thing.
Also, Tisca, I wanted to know the entire book. I have read the book, and it's more only for the girls. What about the boys? What about our boys? Because
I would request Sanjay Chopra to write one for boys.
but first I would say that, buy this book. I'll see. Sir. So I would say that buy this book, and I don't mean only for the women and the girls out there, because it's way beyond just a book for prepubescent girls and their mothers. It's a thing that you can give to all the men in your life, and it would make them better boyfriends, it would make them better husbands, and definitely better fathers. So I think that's what you need to do.
That's it. Yeah, but Harry, I hear you. Sometimes when you're the mother of an adolescent, you really understand why some animals eat their young. Any more questions, guys?
There was a question here. My question has been answered because he covered that points. He covered all the points. I wanted to ask, like, we are talking about the mothers and all. What about a man or a boyfriend when a girl goes through a mood swings or the emotion melodrama? Because my man understands it very well, and I'm very lucky to have him. So touch wood that, but 90% of the cases, even when I have been through the situation, I have not seen that emotional support or that contentment that is coming from your man. So I had that messaging which he gave it, that this book should be there for every man, every boy, and each and every individual.
Lovely. Any more questions, guys? Yeah, we have a question at the back.
Hi, I'm Jhalak. So I just had one question, that while growing up, your experience with puberty was entirely different. When I was growing up, it was very different. I'm sure with your daughter, it's extremely different. In terms of the information that's available, for you, I'm sure it wasn't available that much. It has changed over the years. Now there is internet, now there's so much information out there, good and bad. And there is all kinds of shows, movies, whatever happening, like very accessible, right? And there are all kind of information that is accessible to a teenager now, and even children. And what is happening is that at this point, because all of this information is available, you can't really differentiate, or at that age you can't really differentiate what is good information, what is bad information. How do you, like, have you sort of dealt with that as a parent and in your book as well? Because you can't really restrict information anymore. So have you kind of had to deal with that? Have you thought about it, or have you had these challenges in your life as well?
I think the reason for the book is because there is a possibility of there being misinformation. In our time, it was just simply lack of information, and there was no one was talking about it. And if you started spotting, is when actually your mother then brought up the topic, or some mothers told them before, cousins at a family wedding, at somewhere or the other, you'd find out about it. We have addressed online, how to look at information online and not to take it at face value. But the idea of the book is that you can sort of understand what is right from wrong. That is the central idea. And as far as not being able to control information, I think you can. You can have parental tabs of sorts, and of course be an involved parent. If you're not going to be interested in what your child is watching, I peep in and see what she's watching. I ask her. We make sure we follow all the PG guidelines and all of that. So yeah, but they are far more aware. At the end of the day, if it's part of a normal conversation in the house, even they're not so alarmed about asking these questions. She's sitting here. She knows what we're talking about. So it's not like as if it's now she's going to be embarrassed about it. So she's aware what lies ahead of her, and she can probably guide her friends. So I think information at the end of the day, and as a parent you have to sort of guide your child along. You can't live their life for them, but you can gently guide them and show what path is right from wrong. That much you have to be involved.
Do we have any more questions? Yes.
So, this is a very good initiative, right? We were talking about a very positive message. And the audience here by far is from Mumbai, very cosmopolitan urban, but that's not India. And you talked about two Indias. Right? So, and you touched upon that, talk about translation, etc. My question is specifically, how do you intend to spread this message to tier 2, tier 3 cities where, this is even more important? Because I think you talked about information being available, but how do you use that information? That's a big problem outside of Mumbai, right? Tier 2, tier 3 cities. So what have you thought, or has your team figured thought? Because it's really important. This message should go out.
It is extremely vital. I think we're going to work hard now that we're able to actually bring the book out and talk about it. Now is when we'll start working on, now we'll start the legwork, the work of going to schools, to having conversations with principals, to giving books to libraries. And then Pratilipi has a very large footprint in many languages. 14 languages is what they have a footprint in. So even if we can initially do like a Hindi and then maybe Bengali and then some 1 or 2 South Indian languages, it's possible that there is some coverage, and of course each of you here can then sort of take this word out there, because I do think that it impacts a child so deeply. Your teenage years is where you're scarred the maximum you can be. The ideas about your body, particularly, fat, thin, you're so sensitive at that time. It gets embossed into your psyche. It's very difficult to take that out. You need years of therapy to then get out of that kind of thinking. And mothers or fathers or friends or family will casually throw, "Te mote ho gaye," or some rubbish like that. Yeah. और ये कि क्या है, ये एकदम चेस्ट वेस्ट नहीं है क्या मतलब ऐसा है, फेमिनिन नहीं है तो लड़के जैसी है, और some rubbish like that, which they're not intending harm. I'm sure if they realized what they were doing, they wouldn't do it, but it's still being done. So sensitivity around all of this is, I think, a very, very important thing.
Any further questions? I think with that we've come to a close to the session. Thank you so much, Tisca, for your...
Thank you, Kay. Thank you. Kiran Manral is a dear, dear friend, and we told her today, just now. And she's done this just now for us. Thank you.
You make it easy.
The book is available for sale. You can get your copy signed. Please get the receipt, and you can get your copy signed by the author.
Thank you so much.
After this is over, I also want to go back for database page. And it's a lovely.
I'll get a pen.
Pen.
Yeah. Just a moment.
Neha, can we borrow your pen?
Yeah, sure.